What's up, guys? This is Darkest King, and today I am going to show you some Bakugan techniques that will improve your role in Bakugan Battle Planet. So let's get started. The first thing you're going to need, first let me go over the basics of what we're going to be doing here. So most people don't focus on their rolling techniques. They can focus more on their Bakugan picks or their card picks or even their Bakucore picks. And most people's rolling techniques start and end at what the community calls just kind of tossing it. Not very good. So, and it can sometimes be unreliable. So today on Baku How To, the show where I show you the basics on how to play the toy battling game and the pro TCG. Gonna be teaching you guys some techniques that are specific, controllable, functional, repeatable, and cool sounding, or as I like to call, the 4 pillars of Bakugan. Copyright trademark 2021 by Darkest King. So let's get started. So before we dive in, let me just give you some vocabulary, as I like to call it. So spin, you can have forward spin, back spin, or side spin. Most of the techniques, some techniques you can put a little more extra forward spin for some Bakugan, but magnet placement is a little unreliable. As for side spin, that can be done with either side heavy or bottom heavy Bakugan. Distance. So distance is very important. In rolling, most of these techniques are from a 2 card length distance, and that is the closest your Bakugan can get before you roll it. You can roll at or behind the 2 card line. Magnet position. So this is the most important thing that people often look over. If I were you, I would put the magnet either straight down or slightly in front of the straight down position to land it on the core you want to land on. It might vary depending on how hard you're rolling and what surface you're using. So, speaking of play surface, this is the most important thing. Play surface, because it will make or break your technique. I'm using the Bakugan Armored Alliance Baku mat, which is a very friction-y mat. You don't get that much forward spin and back spin. It just stops very short. My recommendation is to find a very friction-y mat, because the Bakugan won't get too much forward spin and back spin will just make it stop very short before it gets to a core. And for spin rolls, it has enough traction for the Bakugan to open. So with that out of the way, let's move on to our first technique, the straight chute. Place your Bakugan at 2 cards lengths away. Put your palm heel on the table and have your index finger behind the Bakugan and gently extend your finger to roll the Bakugan out. So like this. This is the easiest roll to do, but it has limitations. It's easy to do with core Bakugan. And it can work with ultras, but they won't stand this way. I recommend just using cores. So, on to the next technique, the catapult chute. So, take your index finger and your middle finger, put them on the table, take your Bakugan magnet side down, and you roll. And this varies because of everyone's finger size and how big their hands are. So if you can get good with these, this will help you roll out cores if you don't know any other technique. So it works for cores, but however, it does not work with Ultra Bakugan that has a lot of Alto-Bronte's disease. I'll get into what that is in a future video. Maybe you already know. But with that, let's move on to the next technique. Now, this technique is a very old school technique. If you want to learn more about this technique, look up how to shoot a marble. It's very good if you know how to do it. All you have to do is curl your forefinger, and put your thumb behind the Bakugan, and you push it with your thumb. And you can get more power to this if you really squeeze the Bakugan with your index finger. And you can impress your friends. Next up, the pivot shoot. I did not come up with this technique. That would be a fellow Baku master, Jekuso. So I'll leave his links in the description down below if you want to see his video. So a pivot shoot. So Jekuso made this up, and it is his go-to for Battle Planet. And I'm going to show you how to do it. So place your Bakugan magnet side down on the table. Put your palm heel next to the line of the Bakugan, and you want to pivot your wrist. And if you can get good with pivot shoots, that can really help you. And plus, you can make your Ultra Bakugan stand. Now, side spin shoot. The trick is to choose either side or heavy Bakugan. So for this example, so what you usually use in the Legacy game is a Bakugan called Ravenoid. But in Battle Planet, we can use Bakugan like Fangzor and Vicerox. So I have here a fusion Bakugan. I have Fangzor X-Mantinoid, and since this is fused with the Fangzor design, it is very bottom heavy. So the secret with this, if you want to get it to the left, you use your right hand. You put it in between the middle segment of your forefinger and your thumb. You gently squeeze, and it would go. Let me see if I can do this. Here. So the thing with this is it's very bottom heavy. So you need to put a little bit of force into it. So So if you want to do it with your right hand, put it in between your forefinger and your thumb. And you can overshoot, and this works really well with the straight shoot. So you do a straight shoot off to one side, and if you wanted to go to the right, you do the same thing, and you can get it. So if you want to do it to the right, you do it to the right, you grab it in between your fingers, you make it open. So that's my version of the techniques on this week's episode of Baku How To. If you want more videos like this, thank you for watching. Give this video a big thumbs up. Turn on bell notifications so you don't miss a single video. And subscribe to Jekuso. He has very good content. And yeah, follow me on Twitter at DarkestKingYT. Follow me at Snapchat at DarkestKingYT. And yeah, until next time, guys, this is Darkest King signing off.